Good afternoon and welcome to a midweek showdown between the Bates Bobcats and the number one ranked Tufts Jumbos here on Bellow Field in what has turned into a really gorgeous Wednesday afternoon here, Catherine. And for the first time in a while, there's some warmth on Bellow Field, and for the first time in a while, there's some energy behind this Bates team, which is having their best season in a long time.
Yes, they are. They're coming off of a great season. The past 2 years, they've been 0-10 in the NESCAC. This year, so far, 3-4, I believe, in the NESCAC. It must feel really good to be them coming in and facing this Tufts team.
Yeah, if you're the Bobcats, just so much improvement from a year ago. Had 2 wins total last year, already have 8 wins on the season so far this year, and they're looking to add to that today. They are also in an interesting spot, which is they are in the very last at-large bid spot in terms of the newly created NPI. As we take a look at that graphic here, and you can just see the absolute dominance that the NESCAC has really had in the NPI. The Jumbos, of course, aren't in this. Well, they are listed on the graphic, but they're considered to be the favorites to grab the NESCAC's automatic qualifier bid. But in between that, you got Bowdoin, you got Wesleyan, you got Amherst. This is going to be an NESCAC that's looking to put 5, 6, maybe 7 teams in the NCAA tournament. We'll tell you all about it, give you opening draw in a minute, but first, we're going to step aside for the national anthem. And welcome back here to Bellow as the Jumbos get set to take the field here. And Catherine, they had quite a scare, didn't they, this weekend in Middletown?
Yes, they did, but as we've seen them do time and time again, and we were talking before the game about this, they either have extremely close games where it's neck and neck, often going to overtime, winning by 1 point, or they have blowouts, which we've seen both throughout the season. Not necessarily all here on Bellow, but I'm excited to see what this Bates team is going to bring for this game against the Jumbos.
And when we're talking about this Bates team, I think we have to start with the head coach and Dan Anino. This is this sophomore class, his first recruiting class, and really, they're what powers this Bates team.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was looking at the stats throughout the beginning of the game, there are at least 5 or plus notable sophomores on this team that are carrying them through the season and getting them this victory that they have, and I think it all comes down to that recruiting class. These guys, the sophomores on this team, were high school seniors when Coach was in town. So,
yeah, when Dan Anino was first announced as the head coach of the Bobcats, this is his first recruiting class, the sophomore class. So for him to see them have such success here, now that they're stepping up in a bigger role, it gotta feel good for Bates and really for the entire community there, knowing you got this in your first recruiting class. good things to come, and this is definitely a program on the upswing.
Absolutely. You can see that a few freshmen are also getting a lot of time and a lot of positive impact on the team, so we will probably see them out there here today. Not a ton of seniors, unlike the Jumbos team, more of a junior-senior squad. Curious to see Bates today and in the future.
Yeah, very similar to what the Jumbos were a year ago. Jumbos had that luxury of getting to return everyone from their national title team a year ago to this year's team. And I think it starts with the Jumbos, as it always does, with the three up front, Jack Regneri, Max Eddinghausen, and Brooks Hauser. As we get set here for the opening draw, Miles Schmidt on the draw for the Bobcats against Parker Merrill, who's going to win that one. Schmidt has been really a revelation this year, 67% after being only 41 a year ago. As the Jumbos look to go, that shot saved, picked up by Del Cristo. He's able to scoop it to Brooks Hausen. The Jumbos are going to look to get some of their attacking mids on the field. But Catherine, Miles Schmidt going to be a key to this game for Bates. In the games they've won, he's 77% from the draw circle. In the games they've lost, he's 41%.
Yeah, it always comes down to the draw, and we've seen Tufts with their variability and the amount of people that are willing to do the face-off and win the ball for the Jumbos.
An uncharacteristic turnover there from Charlie Tagliaferri, and Bates is going to look to clear. This one going to be Drew McClutchy. Ride waiting for him at midfield. And a pass between the lines. A successful clear there. Ahead to Connor Hartman, who's looking to go. Shot low, and Garzone able to trap it against the turf. Jumbos begin the clear here. Wallbum outlets to Ben Frizzoli. Regneri. Already the slide waiting on him. He gets around it, trying to get his hands free. Still running Jack, but he can't get the shot off. It's on the turf now. Picked up by Tagliaferri. Gets around, shoots, and a kick save and a beauty there by Andrew Toland. Jumbos with the restart here. Garrett Kelly hopping on the field. The NESCAC Player of the Week last week, had 7 goals in the 2 games. Hauser back to Regneri, up through 2, still going, and just can't run through the entire Bates zone. Transition here for the Bobcats. Mason Prout is going to turn back and slow things down. Work to the X here. Jack Goldback waiting for the ball there. It'll come now to the near sideline. And the Bobcats will get their first attacking look of the game. Hartman put it on the turf. It was scooped up by Xander Frey. He's one of those freshmen we talked about in the open. Work to the X. Goldbach up top. Face dodge there from McClure. Shoots it, but it caught comfortably there by Garzone, who saw it all the way. Jumbo's running. Emsing. Regneri now. Forced to turn back. Still running. Draws 3. Inside feed. It's going to get tipped. It'll stay with the Bows.
Great defense right now by the Bobcats. They really have seen and done their homework on Tufts and know how they play and are double teaming everybody who gets the ball. Not sure how they're doing that physically, but if they can keep this up, they may hold the Bows.
Definitely been a good defensive start for Bates. Someone, can't tell you who, broke a stick on that last possession that Casey Adolfo had to go grab before the play could be restarted. Kelly trying to spin, get his hand free, takes a push, gets away with the ward, gives it to Hauser. Right back to Kelly, extra pass. Regneri step down, low shot, and what a save.
I couldn't even see that ball. I'm not sure how the goalie did that.
Yeah, nice save there from Andrew Toland. Don't know how he saw that because he is fighting the sun hard right now in that direction. Work now to the X. Goldbach there. Now it'll be Javi Werner. He'll take a jog down the alley as the Bobcats continue to substitute. Denzel Evans, he's a senior from Baltimore, one of the leaders of this Bates team. And he dropped the ball there. Here he is calling out a play now. And it turns out it's just going to be handing it off to Javi Werner with 25 to shoot. Rolls right. Skip pass. Work now to the X. 15 to shoot as it comes up top again. Pass bounced. It's going to be saved on the far side there by McClure. Now down to 10 to shoot. Hard drive and the shot sailed. It'll stay with Bates. They got 4 to shoot. And they're just going to take the Gilman as the Jumbos force the shot clock violation.
Great defense as well on the other side of the field as the Jumbos. We haven't seen them on defense much at all this year, but they are showing this is something they have practiced and they know what they're doing as well.
Easy clear for the Bows. Jackson Red with it now. He rolls, dumps it off to Eddinghausen on the X. Rigneri draws the double submarine. And it hit off something, couldn't tell you what, but he got it back. Near side now, that's Joey Kraft. He works it to Bocchio. Back up to Rigneri. Hauser thought about the step down instead. Eddinghausen, hands free, but he sailed it. Quick restart. Jackson Red denied point blank. Rebound is, what's the call? It's a goal.
Wow. That's what it means to be there and be ready for the rebound. You don't expect any of the shots to go in. You are there when they bounce off, and they showed that here today.
Great work there from Jackson Red. Got his own rebound, put it in the back of the net. And it took 6 minutes, but finally the Jumbos are on the scoreboard.
Not a position they're used to being in, Riley.
Without question. Schmidt and Merrill right back to the face-off dot. A lot of kicking, a lot of holding of sticks. Men go down. Schmidt had it momentarily but couldn't corral it. That ball goes skyward, still fighting for it. And eventually, after about 30 seconds, it's Miles Schmidt who comes up with it. Step down, sniped in. How about that one from Ryan Kushner?
Wow, Riley, that was quite the shot.
It was. It fooled you. It fooled me, and I think it fooled Garzone, who was not quite ready for that one.
No, that quick off of a somewhat tough face-off at the beginning. Each team starting to get a little bit more aggressive here in the first quarter.
This is very reminiscent of the games we would see between these two teams 8 or 9 years ago when they were both top 5 in the country.
Yes, well, if you remember last year when they faced each other, the first quarter was tied up 3-3. Will they do that this year?
Interesting question. Rigneri does a good job walking the tightrope, force a dangerous pass. And what's the call? Out of bounds, jumbo ball. Good job trapping there on Riley McClure. Wallbaum's pass behind Frizzoli, and a really uncharacteristic turnover.
Bates is forcing some of these mistakes to be made by the Jumbos. Uncharacteristic, like you said.
Bobcats looking to go again. Comes here to the near side. That's Gray Doyle. Another one of those sophomores who's up past 25 points on the year. Jumbo's trying to scramble back defensively here. Doubling up. As Bates tries to make a substitution. Ball, men go down. And I believe a timeout being given to the Bates coaching staff and Dan Anino.
What a first seven or so minutes.
Yeah, I think it's got the physicality more so than I think we were anticipating in the open. And I think if you're the Bobcats, you have to love that start.
Absolutely. The Jumbos, from my point of view here on the sideline, feel a little bit unsure. They're not frantic. They're not panicked. But I don't think they were expecting the Bobcats to come out as hard as they are right now.
I definitely agree with that. And I think more than anything, if you had told Casey Adolfo his team would only have one goal through 7 minutes, he wouldn't have been that surprised. But I think the way that the Bobcats are really just flustering the Jumbos is so uncharacteristic.
Of course, and the top two players that come to mind for the Jumbos with Jack McNary and Charlie Tagliaferri both tried to get their single shots when they drive to goal or when they rip it from the outside. Haven't been working, which is where they normally start before it's kind of settling into that team play that we know and love. So will they try something new? We know Casey D'Onofrio is one for a switch up on the fly, and we know his team is capable of doing that. Will the Bobcats adjust accordingly?
I don't know. I mean, the Jumbos, the one kind of constant criticism that's been there on this unbeaten #1 team in the country all year is that they don't move the ball enough. They still have had assists on less than a third of their goals on the season compared to the Bobcats, who are over 60%. So if the Bobcats can shut off the Jumbos' individual 1v1 play, they have the opportunity to do something special here.
And they have been so far. Tufts has done a great job of defending their team-based offense. But there are still gaps.
That one on the turf. Walbaum had it momentarily, but couldn't corral it. 30 to shoot, and that one going to be tough. Some extra contact there from Stockdale. Hard roll, inside feed, but it was dropped there on the nice cut from Goldbach. That one's still on the ground. Ben Clark racing for it, and he will, in the end, scoop it up for the Bows. Eddinghausen, as the Jumbos look to go fast. Spins, back left, shot wide. And the race won by the Bobcats. Jumbo ride gonna come a little more further up the field on this defensive possession. Jumbo's one offside call, didn't get it, as the Bobcats clear successfully to Doyle. Jumbo's letting the near side official hear their concerns as the Bobcats slow things down. Bates has had a little bit of an issue with the substitutions so far today. Jumbos want a double. Now they have to retreat back into the zone as the slide comes. Hartman forced to turn back. Dumps it off here to Werner. Werner gets his hands free and finds the back of the net.
There are the holes we've been talking about, Riley. It started back here with, I think, whatever was happening in the substitution box. Bates has also shown that they can redefend. They're not afraid to go for the ball. Tufts is starting to get frantic, trying to clear the ball out. We've seen their transitions be one of their the best plays that they can do as a team, but they haven't been showing that today, and that may be the reason why they're down one for this game.
Jumbo's down one here early in this one, as Salcedo fights, but's not going to win that draw. Another win for Schmidt, who's now 3 for 4. He'll run against Salcedo all the way to the GLE. Salcedo refuses to give him an inch, but eventually it'll be McClure coming all the way to the near side to come save the possession. And the Jumbos able to make their defensive substitutions as the Bobcats will look to go again offensively. If you're the Jumbos, you gotta think you need more than a goal in this quarter, just because this is the quarter where you have the visual advantage with Toland facing the sun, while Garzone will have to face it in the second. Work to the X. Comes right back. Around the horn it goes. McClure. Wall bomb knocked the ball free. Jumbos look to run, but it couldn't be corralled cleanly by Del Cristo. Back on the turf. And it'll be scooped up again with 5. Bates wants a fresh shot clock. They're not going to get it, and they'll have to do a Gilman. See what the Jumbos do here. Have not really gotten a good look in a long while. As I say that, Ettinghausen tries to get his hands free. Comes near side to Hauser. Rolls right, dumps it back off, but he couldn't find his man, and that's another turnover.
Jumbo's coach is not thrilled with the way their team's playing right now.
Can't be. As an easy clear for the Bobcats in transition. Jumbos seemingly want their defense to double the ball as Bates is substituting, but their defense does not seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, it's hard to double all the way out at the midline. If both your men get beat, you're now down 2 coming in.
Evans surveys. Works it to McClure. .35 to shoot. Here is McClure against Stockdale. Rolls left, dumps it off. Hartman was going to step into it, but he couldn't corral it. And the ball scooped up by the Jumbos, and they're going to run. Stockdale starts the 4-on-3. Regneri, submarine shot saved. Rebound, and out of his crease to grab it is Toland, who's just going to dump it ahead. That'll be a turnover, but it'll stew the Jumbo attack momentarily. Ettinghausen finds the back of the net as I say that.
You can start to feel that shift. You know, Xander Frey, the freshman, had a great track back there from the Bobcats. I don't think I've seen anyone run as fast as he did right there. And that's just showing the hustle that the Bobcats are putting in. While it was a great shot by Tufts, that was a rare opening that we see in the Bobcats defense today.
It was, and it stemmed from the goalie. It stemmed from Toland and his decision. I don't hate the decision to get rid of the ball. But if you're going to get rid of it as a goalie, aim for the far end line.
Yeah, absolutely, as far away as possible. And otherwise, Jumbos will make you pay, which is something they've been consistent with all throughout this season.
Merrill back out on the draw. He's still struggling. That one hits the turf again, and a 4th consecutive win from Miles Schmidt. Jumbo's going to make a substitution here. Schmidt going to catch the ball up top, and he quickly gets rid of it, and he'll finally get off the field. Bobcats once again looking to start the play with Hartman up top as he'll face off against Lewis Timmons. Rolls right. Can't get his hands free, though. Work to the X and a little too high.
This is an opportunity for the Jumbos to show how good they are in those transitions and do what they do best by bringing it down the field and settling it into their offense.
Nearly threw it away there. Garzone able to save it. And the Jumbos with their trademark lob to Tagliaferri, who might look to go right now. Rolls left, draws the double. Regneri wanted the pass but didn't get it. Skip pass inside, submarine finish. That time Regneri got it.
Absolutely. I think Tagliaferri, it started with him pulling the defense out a little bit. Bates, I've noticed as they're playing, they take tight and compact. They're not letting you get into that area. As soon as you draw one of their men out, it allows that open space for the player to cut in and get the ball, turn and shoot.
It's a great analysis, Catherine. And I think if you're the Jumbos, that's probably something you picked up on film. And this team's so individualistic offensively, they have to almost mentally reset to beat a defense like that.
Yeah, it's a whole different way of playing.
A really poor play from Parker Merrill, who had won the draw but couldn't corral the ball. That ball, though, back on the turf. Men go down, sticks go down, ball goes down. Michael Ayers says mine. Eddinghausen skips it. Ragnari up and under with the little twister, but he couldn't get it on frame. And the backup is won by the Bobcats. Drew McClutchy with the hustle play. Jumbo's with an all-out ride here at midfield. Successful clear nonetheless for Evans, who was looking to run. Has the long pole, Logan Lee on him. That one comes to the near sideline with a minute to play in the first quarter. Little stutter step. Bates, bench, doing a little bit of heckling here at Ethan O'Neill as the ball comes up top. Around the horn it comes. Once again up top to Werner. Now it'll be Frey. Far side McClure. Frey and him playing a little two-man game with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. McClure works it to the X, up top. That's Werner. Tight angle shot, wide. Believe it's going to be a fresh 60, so Bates can look for the last shot. Jumbo crowd starting to make some noise as it comes to Werner. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Rolls right, gets his hands free and sails it over Garzone's cage. It'll stay with the Bobcats. Play restarts quickly. Jump shot, Werner, saved by Garzone. That'll be the quarter.
And that's how you clear a ball, Riley.
Garzone, I think, was aiming for the Bobcats net there. We're going to step aside momentarily after a thrilling first quarter, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to Bellow Field. Riley Daniel now joined with Ben Med. And Ben, you've seen this Bates team over the years, but this one just looks a little bit different.
It's true. I think it's such a good point. I mean, Bates got off the bus today with just a fire. I mean, they came out hot and were able to control the rhythm early in the game. I think it speaks to a lot about how this team has really changed in the past 2 years, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, and I think one place, honestly the place that shocked me the most in that first quarter was the face-off dot and Miles Schmidt, who went 4 for 6. Or actually, he ended up going 5 for 6 because Merrill couldn't control that last draw. Can't remember the last time the Jumbos were so poor from the draw circle, but it really shows you how good of a season Schmidt's having.
Totally. I mean, Bates has come here to play, no question about it, and almost catching the Jumbos a little off guard in the first quarter, I think.
Their men's team definitely coming to play. We can give you an update from Lewiston. Their women's team did not show up to play. That game is already in a running clock with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Same two back out on the face-off dot. Salcedo fighting for it. Schmidt wins it anyway. And then goes behind the back.
Good win there. Way to take control of the game there.
Haven't seen that much from a Fogo. The little behind-the-back feed to get rid of pressure. Cooper Lance with it here. First time he's been on the field today. Jumbo assistant coach Stephen Toomey not happy with his defense. As substitutions have been really an issue for both teams today.
Yeah, I mean, Bates right here just looking to slow the whole thing down, get some patience in there, look for the shot, try not to rush anything after quite an eventful and scrambling first quarter. They look here to get a good shot.
Jake Anastas works it to the far side. That's Hartman. Rolls off the screen, hands free, and he pushed it wide.
Good look there, dodging from the top of the box, just cuts right in. Nice side shot there, just wide.
Restarted at the back. That's goal back. McClure works it back to Hartman. Hands free again. Well, it was. And then the Jumbo said, I don't think so.
Ben Fasoli in transition. Great back check there.
Extra man wall bomb with the pole goal.
Pole goal. Love to see it. Just taking advantage of the in transition time period right there. God, what a beauty. 27. Bangs it home.
I mean, you really can't ask for a better defender at the D3 level than Joey Waldbaum, a 3-time All-American. And he can do things like that.
Doing it all. Great overhand shot. So tough for the goalie to deal with there. Don't know where he's going to put it and fires it low.
And that is something that really distinguishes the Jumbos from a lot of their NESCAC rivals. They have these poles who can just play so well in transition. Could not tell you where that ball is, but eventually Victor Salcedo's going to come away with it. Eddinghausen to Rigneri. Has one already today. Behind the back feed. Eddinghausen catches and buries it. Mercy, what a goal.
Goodness me. Behind the back, high to high, up a cheddar. You'll love to see it.
And you almost feel sorry for the Bobcats because they had as close to a perfect defensive first quarter as you're going to get. And then the Jumbos just say, all right, we're taking it into second gear here.
I mean, coaches will always tell you, right, especially in that crease, keep that head on a swivel. And for Bates right there, he just missed it and couldn't keep track of the ball.
All sorts of clamping going on. Ball falls under some feet. Men go down, and it'll be scooped up by Max Galvin. Jumbo with an aggressive ride. They want to force the long poles to make distributions here. Liam Rule with it up against Logan Lee. He'll send it to Goldbach on the X. Looking to roll the crease, but a good slide defensively. And I do wonder a little bit, Ben, how does this Bates team create offense if they can't go one-on-one?
Yeah, I think it starts with spacing out. Denzel Evans has been doing a great job getting his hands free, getting good looks, just firing around the horn there.
Tight angle from McClure into the side netting.
Bates got to keep it hot. Bates can't let it get ground to a halt. They got to keep it moving. Can't let Tufts at all just grab hold of this game.
Jumbo's with a little bit of trouble here on the clear. Brooks Burns able to work it back to Garzone. Doesn't want to have to take it himself. Instead, he'll draw the double, and Panagopoulos will get it across. And now look to be a screener. Rigneri in some space here on the near side. Draws the double. Face dodge. Spins back.
Good defense there.
Extra pass, and Panagopoulos not exactly used to being in the GLE. Able to save it, though, to Brookshauser, who's going to roll, but couldn't quite get the angle. Rigneri on the X now. Got his man hung up. He might just roll the crease here. He's going to try to do it. Reverse low, and it'll go wide. Stays with the Bows.
Runs into a lot of traffic there. Near side crease. It's just not the look you want on offense there.
Jumbos with 10 to shoot as they get their first unit at midfield on. Skip pass. Missed Will Emsing's stick, and that'll be a turnover. Jumbos with a ride.
Costly turnover there for Tufts. I mean, you want to keep that possession as much as you can, and those slip passes just make it so much harder.
That's a lot more reminiscent of the defensive posturing we saw from the Bobcats in that first quarter, that last possession was. The question is, can they get the offense going again like it was in the middle of that first?
Totally. I mean, lacrosse is such a momentum game, and you can see just with Tufts, just a sliver of momentum, able to put 3 goals in the back of the net, bang, bang, bang. I mean, got to get some back here if you're Bates.
Roll there from Xander Frey. Spinning against Del Cristo, draws the double skip pass on the bounce. Evans from distance, and Garzone saw it the whole way. Jumbos do have that weapon in having not 1, not 2, but 3 All-Americans in their defensive half. Tagliaferri draws 2. Wants to go solo anyway. Screen and roll with Emsing. Dropped it, had to pick it back up. Here's Kelly now. Gets his hands free, and a shot on cage, but saw comfortably by Toland.
Bates doing a good job there, staying, patient on the defense, not biting anything, not leaning back on back checks. Doing a good job just staying in the game, getting their head up, not letting anything get to them.
Evans, with some space, gives it up to Lance. Frey to the near side. McClure gets it right back, working against Michael Ayers. Frey looking for some substitutions here. He'll go right back to McClure. Goldbach once again on the X. It'll be Brooks Burns out to deal with him. Rolls the crease, reverses, and a flag goes as that ends up in the side netting. I believe the Jumbos are going man down.
Wow, good roll out there from X. Forces the penalty, and now man-up situation for Bates.
Bates in the man-up. Haven't been particularly great in that situation, only 39% on the year. As it'll be Harrison Stockdale to serve the penalty for an illegal body check. And one thing Bates has to be aware of is you can't be too risky here and risk the Jumbos running, because they are a team that now has 4 man-down goals on the year.
It's true. I think you got to look for an outside shot here, right? They're going to play box and 1 zone defense. They're not going to bite on anything. They're going to look to just press out and stay sloughed in.
Skip pass. McClure has the angle, but just couldn't keep it down once again. Little give and go play with Hartman. Here he is once again. Halfway through the man up, and another miss there from McClure. He's taken about half dozen shots. Don't think he's put one on target yet.
Another good look there, though. I mean, catching Tufts just heavy on the inside, not looking for the outside shot. Two decent looks.
Jack Market. 10 left for Bates. Hartman inside feed. Reverse shot finished down low by Xander Frey.
Oh, yeah. Bates, great look there. Again, just dumping it off the crease guy. Low shot, low to low in the sun. So hard to defend against.
It is so hard, and you're absolutely right about that sun. Garzone looked like he was pretty confident most of that possession, but did not see that ball. Was looking for it high, but a low-to-low shot had him beat.
And a great goal there from Bates. I mean, you're on a man-up situation. Try to break some of Tufts' momentum. Needed that one.
It was a very needed goal for the Bobcats. This time, Parker Merrill's going to win the draw. Takes some contact, but gets it ahead. Logan Lee cannot get pole goal number 2.
He's looking for it, though. He's looking.
Oh, all these Jumbos poles are looking for it. Regneri. Roll dodge, dropped his man, but couldn't put it into the near side. Jumbo's ride now going to step up, but an easy clear for the Bobcats. Bates crowd starting to get to their feet here. I can sense their team is still very much in this game. McCurr works it to Goldbach. Gets a spin and a step on Panagopoulos, but can't do anything with it.
Bates once again just being patient, looking for a good dodge, a good look on goal. Not trying to do too much.
Evans forced track behind the net. Up top again, Hartman works it near side. McClure. Right back to Goldbach on the X. Little stutter step from Frey.
Ooh.
That would have been nice.
Good split dodge right there. Got his hands free, got to go open look. Just wide.
Bates being told they have to restart play from the corner. 10 left on the shot clock. Doyle. Back to the X with 3. Evans stepped down, did not get it off in time, I don't think. Bates is celebrating.
Looks like a goal on the field. Wow.
Bang, bang play, and the Bobcats make it 5-4.
Great find from behind X, just right over the bar. Stick was hot. Finds it back in the net.
And that's that senior leadership from Evans. Knew the situation, knew he did not have time to step into that one, just had to catch and fire. And he beat Garzone to the far side.
It was a quick stick fire. So dangerous at that part of the field. Get it out, in and out of your stick quick.
Another draw win there for the Bobcats. Who are once again trying to make their substitutions here. And really, that's the only thing that has gone wrong for this Bates team today. Ball up top here with Hartman. As Bates seems very confused about what they're doing substitute-wise. Eventually they will get Frey back on the field. And if you're Bates, you've had a good game, but taking 40 seconds off the shot clock to get your men on the field just isn't going to cut it at this level. Evans rolls through 2, draws the double, spins out of it. Hands free. Good look.
Good redodge, good look. Frizoli there, got a little tripped up there. Able to get back in time, but not before the shot got off.
Low screen. Great catch there on that pass from Doyle. Hartman with 13. Works it to McClure with 10 on the GLE. Up top, step down. Save off the chest of Garzone. Pops back out, low shot wide. And it'll be a fresh 60 for the Bobcats. Spun back. Doyle working on the X. Hard cut from Hartman, but he couldn't catch the ball, and the Jumbos are running again.
Great stick check there. Way to disrupt that pass.
O'Neal rolls. Works into the X. Ragneri calling for it. Gonna get it. Thought about the step down. Avoids the trail check. Shoots it. A lot of contact. Bates going the other way.
Bates all over Ragneri there. Still finds a way to shoot, but goalie, good save.
Jumbos were caught out, but Bates decides not to go in transition. Instead, gonna slow things down. Bobcats bench loving the way this is going. 8 saves already for Andrew Toland. Anastasios sets a screen for McClure to roll off of. Split dodge. Frey works it near side. That ball on the turf. And eventually the Jumbos are running, and they got all sorts of numbers now. Michael Ayers to Ragneri. Rolls back left. Works it to the X. Up top, and a dropped pass. And the Bobcats are running now in transition the other
My
way.
goodness. Another just short possession for Tufts. Bates has been doing a great job possessing that ball in the offensive half, getting good looks, and Tufts just not controlling the ball.
Well, you say that as Bates is going to call a timeout, Ben. The crazy thing about this game, the Bobcats are out shooting the Jumbos right now.
Oh, yeah.
Bates with 20 to the Jumbos 19. And, I mean, you look at every kind of 50-50 stat, it's showing what we've kind of seen, which is the Bobcats are outworking the Jumbos. The one thing that really has kept the Jumbos in the lead has been the turnover problem for Bates. They have 11.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they've had Rigneri's number down bottom. I mean, he's been dodging right around crease, coming around the edge, and has just met a lot of deep holes down there for Bates. Bates did a great job containing him as he had an amazing 30-goal campaign this season.
Yeah, I mean, Rigneri with 30 goals in only 7 games has 1 and 2 assists today, but has been relatively quiet. Had to take 9 shots to get that goal. If you're this Bates team, though, I think the one thing that you're questioning is McClure. 4 shots taken, has only put 1 on frame.
It's true. I mean, like, lacrosse is such a confident sport. And, you know, a lot of coaches will just say keep shooting if they got good looks, put them on cage. And, of course, they're missing wide, but I think he'll keep shooting. He'll get that ball in the back of the net eventually.
Has 1 on the day, as does, or excuse me, my apologies. You were right, Ben. Has an assist, but no goals today, as he's only put 1 shot on target. That one was saved relatively comfortably by Garzone. And for the Jumbos, it is kind of interesting looking at the score sheet here. A goal each from Waldbaum, Rigneri, Jackson Red, and 2 from Ettinghausen. Nothing from Garrett Kelly, nothing from Tagliaferri, nothing from Brooks Hauser.
Bates done a great job of just locking off the attackman so far today. I really allowed nothing, no set plays or anything to get through.
Jumbo seem to be out a little more aggressively in the man-to-man out of the timeout. Step down wide on a good look for Hartman.
Nice step down shot, just misses wide. Nothing wrong with it.
But those are the sort of looks that if you're the Bobcats, you want to just get consistently. Work to the X now. Evans got choked up, and that's a foul.
Denzel Evans so quick and small there around the crease that if you're a defender, you got to be careful of drawing a penalty right there.
I got to love Sam Frazzoli's reaction, though. The whole, what, I didn't commit a foul bit. When even from here, 50 yards away, the fact that he had a chokehold seems pretty cut and dry. Though D'Onofrio seemingly arguing it.
It looked like a pretty well-rounded chokehold to me from here.
I mean, credit to him. He prevented what would have been a point-blank look.
It's true.
But I don't know what the Jumbo's coaching staff's really arguing about that one. Frey works it. McClure off the outside of the cage. And a shot bounces out. Garzone in some trouble here. D'Onofrio might want to think about a timeout. Wall bomb now. Jumbo's back to full strength, so they can go if they realize they have the numbers on the other side of the field. And Michael Ayers will take it across. Emsing. Rigneri. Up and under, hands free through everybody, and did he? Oh, yes, he did find the back of the net.
Just makes it look so easy. So easy, slipping that slide, cutting right in, switching hands, switching back, and triple pipe there, I think. Bang, bang, bang in the back of the net.
And you talked about momentum. It was going so well for Bates, and then just like that, they can't score on the man up. The Jumbos come right down and re-extend the lead to 2.
It's a great point here. I mean, Tufts so dangerous man-to-man, but And a man down, they've done very well this year.
Salcedo back out on the draw. He's been 1 for 5. Merrill's been 2 for 6. Salcedo, I think, is going to get away with a clamp on Bates there. So he's going to go to 2 for 6. And the Jumbos, we'll see if they hold for the last shot or if they go now. Emsing. Bates seems to be in some sort of zone here. Ettinghausen on the X. Now Kelly. Back to Tagliaferri. Those two playing a little two-man game. Kelly lowers the shoulder but can't get an angle. Gets it back, but couldn't get his hands free to take the step down. He'll find Regneri, and he will find the net.
Bates is doing such a good job there containing that over-the-top look. But the backdoor cut by Regneri, whew, so dangerous.
It is, and that's what's so tough if you're an opposing team. You can shut down the over-the-top look. You can shut down Tagliaferri, but there's just always more and more Jumbos who can hurt you.
It's a great point. I mean, the lineup is just so deep. So many people, so many dangerous sticks on the field at all times.
Jumbos win that draw with Eric Helgelson taking it, and Dinolfo going to take a timeout to set up a play to end this first half. See what he likes to do here. Casey Dinolfo historically been so good at calling plays out of timeouts. If you're him, Ben, who are you looking to set up?
On the Bates end of the ball, I think you got to be looking for Denzel Evans. He's been so quick all game, so many good angles for him. I think you got to be using some of your best players there, including him to maybe get a look or get an assist from him.
And if you're Dinolfo here with the Jumbos having the ball, who are you looking to get a look for to end this second quarter?
It's a great point. I think, yeah, on the Jumbo side of the ball, I think Garrett Kelly had a game winner just a few nights ago. I think that guy might be the guy with the number.
So you use Regneri in what? As a distributor? As
yeah,
a decoy?
As a decoy. Get Regneri in the middle, get him to dodge, draw the slide, and then pass it outside. Kelly, up top, high to high, up a cheddar. That's what I'd love to see.
They're both on the field, as well as Hauser, Ettinghausen, Tagliaferri, and Emsing. So the Jumbos roll with their first unit here to end the first half. The ball will start in Garrett Kelly's stick. Comes off this near side. Hauser with it. Back to Kelly. Worked Regneri. Rolls through two. Face dodge.
Ooh.
A lot of contact. Still with the ball, and Dinolfo called another timeout. I have no idea how he did not lose that ball.
That is incredible stick work right there from Jack Regneri. 3 defenders trampling him. Wow. Able to keep the ball.
All right, so I'll ask you again. You saw the look where they tried to play it with Regneri. You got a lot less time now. You got 8 seconds. What's the play?
I think you got to quickly get it around the horn. I think got to be a bang-bang up top, and you got to get just an outside shot. They're not letting anything through the crease right now. They got Regneri's number. I don't think it's going to work. I think you got to get an outside shot up top.
If that's the case, I think the name to watch would be Max Ettinghausen. So good as a southpaw from that right side. Looks like Dinolfo's going to start play exactly how he started it 11 seconds ago in Garrett Kelly's stick here on the near side. 8 to go. Kelly to Hauser. Emsing with 3. Down low.
Ooh.
Kelly catches and finishes at the horn.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Doesn't get much better than that. Zeros on the clock. Just a great round the horn feed, and then inside, right in that crease area. Bang, bang, back of the net.
A great end to the first half from the Bows. They go to the halftime break with an 8-4 lead, but we got a good one here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the second half. Welcome back here to Bello. About ready to get start for the second half. Riley Daniel here with Catherine Burns. As the Jumbos really, it felt like it was anyone's game, and then the Jumbos do what the Jumbos do and finish that quarter with 3 goals in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the Bates Bobcats coming out so strong, catching the Jumbos off guard. But as I heard a little bit on the sideline from the coaches, they were messing up the little things. That's what they needed to focus on. Oftentimes, they have no problem with that, and where their mistakes come is tactical stuff towards the more advanced levels. But missing passes, messing up during the transition, not getting every single ground ball like they are used to, definitely frustrated them and definitely frazzled them. And honestly, I think it kicked them into gear to bring the score back up by 4 as we start the second half.
And if you're Bates, you're doing a lot of the simple things right, but the one thing that has been a problem for 30 minutes now is the substitutions. I mean, I feel like I need to maybe start a stopwatch next time they try and substitute, because it feels like every possession it's 30, 35 seconds to get those substitutions down.
Yeah, and 30 to 35 seconds is a lot in this game for each possession that the Bates have. They've gotten it a lot. Maybe they weren't expecting to get it a lot, but their substitutions are not smooth, and it is impacting their team and I think the Jumbos too, with the amount of chaos in the box right here.
Parker Merrill back out on the dot. All sorts of holding, and in the end, Frizzoli wins the draw. Ragnari already working on a hat trick. Brings it near side. Shovel to Tagliaferri. He'll roll, dump it to the X. Inside feed. That one bounces high. And I believe in the end it was controlled. It is by the Bobcats. This time by Cooper Lance. Pass is caught with the outstretched stick of Mason Prout, who gets it across the restraining line. All right, so we're at 20 seconds in this possession already. Still waiting to make another attacking substitution are the Bobcats.
Yeah, 2 more men left in the box. 2 substitute.
Down to 40 seconds on the shot clock. And finally now, after 45 seconds go off the shot clock, will they get set and go with Evans? Dodges back, draws the double. Step down, in, off the top corner. They're going to say it did not go bar down. Jumbo's running the other way with Del Cristo. Ragnari rolls left, bounces it in to the side netting. They're going to give the Jumbos a fresh 60. Ragnari dances through everybody and then skips it to the X. Hauser. Been silent today. Not anymore.
Right there, top corner. Riley, you might need some glasses for those 2 original goals that you called goals, because that was a clear goal.
Yeah, it looked like that one, the step down on the other side from Hartman was going to go bar down, but it hit bar and out. That time, Brooks Hauser picked the top corner, clean past Toland. Jumbos with their largest lead of the day, up to 5. And a violation called against Harvey, or excuse me, against Schmidt. So it'll be a Jumbo face-off win. That's 2 in a row now. And they're going quick. Hauser able to save that high pass from Tagliaferri. He'll give it to Garrett Kelly, who scored that goal at the buzzer to end the second quarter. Tagliaferri on the X. Rolls the crease. Emsing now. Low shot, but the low high went a little too high. I think it ended up in Spicer. Quick restart from the senior captain. Emsing Rolls through, draws a double, and his bounce shot is not going to give the Jumbos a fresh 60, I believe, though the referee is signaling for it. They're going to say that was on cage, so a fresh 60. A save from Toland. Skip pass, missed everybody, and it's going to be Jumbo ball. Kelly thought about the step down. Rolls free. Works into Hauser, gets it right back. Extra pass, Regneri. Up, under, through, three, reverses. Did that go in? Oh my Lord.
I could not even have imagined that play. Dodges around not one, but two players, maybe even three. Horizontal to the ground, and somehow Twizzlers into the back of the net.
So good from Jack Regneri. And the Jumbos have pushed the lead to 6. Regneri now with 4 goals, 2 assists. Another face-off violation on the Bobcats. The next one will be a man down.
Yeah, that was on the freshman Finn Gibbons. Not someone we've seen taking the face-off for the first half.
Addinghausen. He wants things to slow down a little bit. Rolls left. Trying to get his hands free. Skip back to the near side. Emsing down low, GLE. That is a very late tackle, and the Jumbos are going to go man up.
That's a spot they've found and loved on the Bates defense. Just right outside the goal. They wait for that man to make a mistake, and they make him pay.
Jumbos will have 60 seconds with which to work. 30 man up. Cooper Lance gets the penalty for the push. He's actually probably lucky that he got the push call and not a contact to the head call.
That would have been a much bigger penalty.
Patience up top. Kelly with 10 left on the man up. M6 skip pass inside. Kelly jump shot score.
And that was that pulling out of the Bobcats defense we saw in the first quarter. Just pulling them out slightly off guard opens up a very big hole that often the Bobcats don't have to deal with because they aren't playing against teams as tactical as Tufts. But that's just something you have to watch out for if you're the Bobcats.
And for the Bobcats, this has got to be really frustrating because just over 5 minutes ago in game time, this was a 5-4 game. It's now 11.
Yeah.
They're going to win that draw, and then they're going to turn the ball over. Michael Ayers ahead. Addinghausen. Draws the double, works it to Hauser. He dropped it, scooped it back up. Rolls right. Regneri on the X as the Jumbos switch out the midfield unit. Near side to Addinghausen. Drops down and finds the top shelf.
Same spot, Riley. Same spot on the field that they're scoring these goals after goals after goals within the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, it's the same spot every time, and you have to wonder what they saw in the film room because it's got to be a half dozen now that have been scored from that really acute angle outside the GLE as the Bobcats are going to call a timeout.
Yeah, Riley, I don't think that was the film room. If it was the film room, we would have seen that happening time and time again in that first half. I think the Jumbos had a deep talk at halftime, figured out what they were seeing, talked to the coaches, what the weak spots are that they couldn't see as players on the field, and address that accordingly, and clearly has proven that they are a team that can adjust on the fly to best face their opponent, no matter who it is and what their strengths are.
Yeah, Casey D'Onofrio, known for that in-game adjustment, and it's working dividends once again today as the offense, which was pretty much silent for about 29 minutes of that first half, has really exploded in the second half. The big three getting back on the scoreboard. Hauser has a goal. Eddinghausen has 3 goals and an assist. Rigneri with 4 and 2. Garrett Kelly's got 2 goals and an assist. It's the usual names.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is interesting about the difference between these two offenses, which both have seemed to work. The amount of speed coming out of the substitution box for the Jumbos is immense, and you can tell that's a priority for them, sprinting out. Meanwhile, for Bates, they're more of a relax coming out. That's the style they like to do. Specifically for Evans, he likes to hang out here, pull the defense out, make them have holes, have gaps, and then go through and find them. It's really just what ends up working best for your team and what your guys can do.
That is definitely a factor, though. You have to wonder at what point Bates has to just change it up simply on math reasons, because if they're taking 90 seconds of possession, they can't afford to let the lead run much further if they want enough time to actually get back in this game.
Against some teams that may work, but against the Jumbos, they will make you pay for that time.
Draw win there from Lance. He's in trouble, and it's picked off by Walbaum. The Jumbo ride has been relentless today. Hauser cuts inside, skips it near. Eddinghausen behind the back. Hauser catches, and they did it again.
Guess what I'm going to say, Riley?
What are you going to say?
Same spot. Same spot. If I were Bates right now, this would be the time I take a timeout and adjust. Clearly, there's a consistent weak spot in my defense.
Well, you
Well,
say
it's
that.
been spotless all day.
They called a timeout. They just didn't fix the weakness.
I guess that's true. I was unclear of which team called that timeout earlier.
But I think there is some validity to that they need to fix that weakness. But at some point, you just have to shrug your shoulders and say, yeah, all right, they beat me on that one, especially when the Jumbos are going behind the back like that.
That's just something so hard to defend.
And the Jumbos, oh, man. Jumbo's going man up, I believe. At least I believe they are. There are a lot of flags. Couldn't tell you who's going to the box.
Yeah, tensions are high.
Jumbos are sending out their attack units, so they seem to think they're going man up.
Refs are still discussing.
I think they're discussing whether or not this is going to be locked in. It's going to be 1 minute. And it is a locked-in penalty for a check to the head there on Miles Schmidt.
Schmidt has been so great on the draw because of his aggressiveness, really. This is where it can go wrong. As soon as you make the wrong move, it can cost you this man-up position, or man down in their case.
We'll see how fast the Jumbos look to go, knowing they will be man up for a full 60 seconds. Emsing draws the double, spins out of it. Around the horn it goes. Skip pass, Tagliaferri buries it.
There's nothing really you can do as a goalie on that one. Clearly Andrew Tollin knew that. If the player's right in front of your face and you're not in position, there's not much you can do.
No, there isn't. And for the Bobcats, you just wonder at this point how you mentally recover, because you felt so good about yourself for so long in that first half, and you're looking up at the scoreboard 6 minutes into the second half, and you're down double digits.
Yeah, and your main face-off guy, Schmidt, is still out, and they're still man up.
Merrill lays out to knock that ball ahead, but I think he's going to get called for an infraction. He will be. So a big-time break there for the Bobcats. Though I have to imagine the Jumbos are going to put an all-out ride on.
Absolutely.
Jumbo's going to send the Bobcats going to send Connor Hartman back to try and break out of it. He's in some trouble. Stick knocked out of his hand, and the Jumbos take the ball with it. Tagliaferri went down, couldn't control the ball. And the Bobcats are going to look to go. Ben Miller now. Believe that's Liam Rule with the ball. Dangerous pass. Brooks Burns is going to go man down as the referee tosses his flag into the stands.
Not the same as a t-shirt toss, but almost.
Bates now, after killing off minus the 1 goal, their minute penalty will go man up here in a second. They have 30 seconds and a chance to instantly respond to the Jumbos man up goal. Jumbo's bench, all smiles over there. Up top. Step down from McClure, wide. And it's going to stay with Bates. Goldbach. McClure cycles it near side, gets it back. Thought about the step down. Jumbo's back to full strength. Scoop shot is wide. It'll stay with Bates. Fresh 60 on that one. Bobcats continue to possess as it comes up top here to Frey. Split dodge, draws the slide. Work to the X. Goldbach, face dodge. McClure tried to roll the crease but couldn't finish it. Rebound, did not beat Garzone. Third ball is going to be scooped up by the Jumbos. Knocked ahead to Ben Frizzoli, and they got numbers. Frizzoli, pole goal number 2.
He loves to score, Riley. That's for sure.
And it's like deja vu. The Jumbos once again kill off the man down and immediately turn it into offense. Scored 10 consecutive goals and have pushed the lead to 11.
This is a score the Jumbos are used to seeing on their home turf on Bello. 15-4, 7:16 left in the third quarter.
Merrill knocks that one free to himself. Hauser calling out a play. You have to wonder, with the way this offense is going, do the Jumbo starters see the fourth quarter? Kelly up and under everyone, but can't get his hands free. Near side to Emsing. The light's just starting to come on as Hauser rips it from deep.
These are the long shots they were not able to get in that first and second quarter. You can see kind of a defeat of the Bobcat defense in their body language and in the way that they're playing. They're not as sharp as they were in the first quarter, whether that's fatigue or just having this many goals scored on you in this short amount of time.
That is a definite question. Gonna make me momentarily look up the record for the Jumbo's goals scored in a quarter. They're already at 9 in this third quarter with 6.5 minutes to play. And part of the reason for that is they figured out the face-off dot. Eddinghausen spins away with the ball. And a shot from distance. How about that one?
Wow, that was a great shot. As I say almost every game, I don't want to be in front of that one.
Yeah, I don't want to be in front of any of the shots the Jumbos have been taking here in this quarter. They are just teeing off on the Bobcats. A fourth on the day for Eddinghausen. He'll join Regneri on 6 points. And the Jumbos have quickly gone from 7 to 17 here in the third. Clean win this time from Schmidt. As it's quickly getting dark here in Medford. Bobcats looking to run it around, get their attacking midfielders on the field as the Jumbos substitute behind the play. Jumbos now going to double because of the problems Bates is having with the substitution box.
And the Jumbos have been calling to do that all day, yet they haven't been able to quite initiate it.
Skip pass behind the man. Ayers had it momentarily, and Panagopoulos will scoop it up. Another forced turnover from the Jumbo defense, and then Garzone just bit it there as Bates wants to restart quickly, but being told to slow down by the referees. Little stutter step, roll in the crease. That one wide, and it's going to stay with Bates. Dumps back off. It'll be saved there by Liam Rule. He's going to look to roll the crease instead of up top. Here's Evans. Around one, gets his hands free. Save Garzone, and a beauty. And the Jumbos are running again. It's Davis Owens to Hauser. Spins back. Extra pass to the X. Regneri, inside feed. Caught, but the shot wasn't able to be taken. Ettinghausen saves the possession. He might look to shoot right now. Instead, dumps it off. Regneri, Hauser, and a save this time from Toland.
I don't know if you noticed, Riley, but that was practically a 3-on-6 down there, and that they still were able to get a shot off.
Don't think the three attackmen particularly cared about their numbers. Here is Hauser. Worked around the horn. Keogh up top. Red, who opened the scoring in this game, gets it right back. Draws two. Ettinghausen up and under. And a great point-blank save from Toland.
Yeah, great save there by Toland.
Quick restart. Keogh. Regneri faked everyone out, works it back to Bo. Up top, but just couldn't find Jackson Red. Ettinghausen will shovel it back to the X. That one deflected. It's going to be knocked back, and Hauser able to save it. Oh, some extracurriculars, and they're going to stay over and back, I believe.
Yeah.
So a first stand of the quarter for the Bobcats comes 12 minutes in. And a shot off the outside of the post. It'll stay with Bates. And I believe Casey Denolfo is pulling his starting attackman. So Regneri not going to have another run at the points record in a single game today, at least. Face dodge and a roll there by Xander Frey. Goldbach, great feed back door, but Garzone was waiting on it. And he's going to try and shovel away. Everyone fighting for that ball on the turf. Scooped up there by McClure. Has a shot on the empty net, but put it in the side netting. Inside feed. Garzone with the kick save.
What a save, Riley. He was playing like a field player out there and still was able to save those balls.
Jackson Red just spun through everybody, but the Jumbos were offside.
And that's the little things, Riley.
It is very difficult, especially with some of these players who don't get as much game time. And an interesting attack unit that we'll talk about when the Jumbos get the ball, because Jackson Red at least looks to be the third attacker, though he's now going to come off for Bokio. Hartman steps into it, but Garzone saw it the whole way. Under 2 to go here in the third. And he'll look to clear it himself. Tagliaferri dropped the ball, and that will be the end of the day for Connor Garzone. As the Jumbo's going to substitute in Ben Friedman. And Catherine, that's your cue to start counting how many goalies we see today.
They have 5. So right now we're 2 out of 5.
Starting midfield still on the field for the Bows. Emsing. Draws 2. Kelly works it to Keogh. He tries to roll off it. Skip pass. Yeah, a little too ambitious. Bates will start to clear here. Shot clock will not be a factor the rest of this quarter. As a terrible giveaway to Bokio. Jumbos with all sorts of numbers. Keogh. Oh, good idea. It was tipped, I believe. Or it was according to Casey D'Onofrio. Jumbos not getting their call.
No, they are not. But good work by Bokio.
All out ride once again from the Bows. Five seconds left. As we apologize, folks, for the camera problems here. Jumbo's looking to go in transition. Melton through everybody and finds the back of the net. Well, I will apologize, folks. We will tell you what's going on. I mean, I would say you're not missing much because this game's outcome isn't in doubt, but the Jumbos have scored again, making it 11 on the day.
Yeah, another good team goal by the Jumbos.
And we do have our visuals back, thanks to Noah and John for getting that up so quickly after the problem. All you missed was Max Melton scoring what seemed to be about the 15th goal scored from that weak spot, Catherine.
They love that weak spot.
Bates looking to get on the scoreboard here in this quarter.
13 seconds left.
Now 5. As an all-out ride, Logan Lee knocks the ball free, and that'll be how the third quarter ends. The Jumbos dominate the quarter from start to finish, outscore the Bobcats 11-0, and take a 14-goal lead into the fourth. Welcome back here to Medford. We'll go around the NESCAC scoreboard here for you. 2 games still yet to have an opening face-off. The Battle of Connecticut between Trinity and Wesleyan will take place in Middletown at 7. Bowdoin and Colby about to start that one up in Waterville. Update from Amherst. They lead the Connecticut College Camels 6-5 at the end of the first half. Obviously, you know the score is 18-4 here, and in a game that finished earlier, Hamilton pulled a surprise win off against the Williams College Chiefs, who are in some considerable danger of missing out on the NESCAC tournament.
Yeah, this year there's been a lot of different shifts around the NESCAC with teams looking better, teams looking worse, and playing better or worse.
Bates looking to possess here. See if the Bobcats can get anything to bring them some sense of consolation in this fourth quarter. Frey. A jog being taken here by Doyle. Double comes onto Frey, who spins out of it. Tries to roll the crease, but Friedman saved it.
Still Friedman in net. Surprised we didn't see goalie number 3.
I'm sure we will, Catherine. Have your patience. Jumbos with the clear. Kraft works it to Melton on the other side. Now Callum Wood on the X. Red, along with Kraft, Keogh, and Emsing, the midfield right now. As Peter Kramer now going to join, replacing Emsing. Jackson Red might have gotten away with some contact there. Inside feed on the turf, scooped up nicely by Marquette. Braun Lip on the field defensively for the Jumbos. He's out there with Davis Owens. Also William Bonner, the freshman from Darien, as they're out hounding the Bobcats. Anastas dumps it off. Hard roll, Anastas shot, and Friedman with the save. And now he'll start the clear. Jumbos with a little bit of concern here. They have 5 seconds to get it across. And Nick George runs that little halfback screenplay to come free and collect the ball. Joey Kraft on the field. He has high aspirations for his team here. He wants to go to his grandfather's stadium and play in a national title game. Of course, the national title game this year will be at Gillette. A whole 45 minutes for Medford. Henry Tweedy on the field now, as George has it. Works it to the X. Inside feed, caught. Kraft tried to go Regneri style, but couldn't quite get it on frame as Red goes with 5. Gonna have to be shot. George, skip pass, and it almost found the cage. It'll be a turnover. Lob pass, easy as you like for the Bobcats. Can also give you one more score update on the women's side in the reverse matchup. That one has gone final. Jumbos cruise to an 18-6 lead, or excuse me, 18-6 win, which sets up a matchup between the number 1 and number 2 ranked Panthers and Jumbos in a battle to see who remains the last unbeaten team in the NESCAC on Saturday afternoon.
That will be a big game, Riley.
It will be. Middlebury holding on to that 71-game win streak as the Jumbos look to do what they did at the start of that streak and beat the Panthers. Ball knocked onto the turf, but saved nicely by Marquette. Jumbos have not conceded a goal in 25 minutes now. Hartman trying to change that, and he will. Might have pulled a Flossie there.
I think you jinxed it, Riley.
I think I did too. Don't think the Jumbos are going to mind particularly, though, as they still hold an 18-5 lead here.
Even at that, I don't expect the Jumbos to let up off the gas at all. We've seen them at this position in other games, and we will go for the third goalie switch with Friedman coming off, and I can't quite see who is in.
I think it might be the sophomore Will Anderson, but
that's normally the order they go. So we are assuming it is Will Anderson in the goal.
And it is Will Anderson in the goal. I can finally now see that the bench has finally sat back down. Bates went over and back, but they got away with it. Bobcats have also started to make some substitutions. Rye Kushner back on the field. Up top here with Evans. Bates does not really have a much easier weekend. They are back home at Garcelon Field, but they do have to take on the number 6 team in the country, the Amherst Mammoths, before getting the easiest end to an SCAC season anyone could hope for, a home game against the winless Colby Mules.
Yeah, but both of these teams have shown that they can hold their own against the best. Colby last year playing a great game against Tufts as they started to lose throughout the end of the season.
They did.
Amherst as well against Bates. I think it will be an exciting game as Bates have showed they can play and they can hang with the best of them.
Yeah, and you wonder, as a nice dodge, but he couldn't get it on frame there, if that Colby-Bates game could be a game the Bates team needs to win to get into the NESCAC tournament. Right now, the cut line is between Trinity and Conn College, 2-4 Bantams versus the 2-5 Camels. Bates knows they will have 5 losses after today, and if they were to lose at Amherst, in all likelihood would need a win over Colby to clinch a spot in the NESCAC tournament.
And I think Colby would give them a good run for their money in that game.
Oh, Colby would not hold any punches back. They would want to deny their main counterparts a spot in the tournament. Jumbos play a little hot potato with the ball before Anderson just chucks it to the corner. A whistle goes. I believe an offside called against the Jumbos.
I was focused on the catch at the end of the field. That looked like it could have been a touchdown back there with the type of catch that he made.
Indeed it did. Jumbos with once again an aggressive rod. And Bates really well played as Frey recognized the problem, stepped back to corral the ball and take it across the timeline himself. Anderson nearly picked the pass off. A shot low. Anderson went down to meet it. Then takes an Irish spin and pops back into Hartman's stick. Far side. Skip pass all the way back. Hartman wanted it, but it was taken instead. Frey tried to go submarine style. Anderson was waiting on it. This time Anderson lobs it up. It'll be caught on the other side of the timeline by David Levine, the freshman midfielder from Jersey. Jumbo's trying to see how many different players they can get on the field today. Here's Nick George, who has gotten a considerable amount of play time in similar situations. Has 2 goals on the year. Max Melton with it. He has a goal today. Wood on the X, up top. And it was deflected. Push called against, oh wow. I think it's a 12-goal game. We're cold, we want to go home call.
It might be that, or the refs just had a different view, but Tufts will win it back here in the middle.
Yeah, they're not giving anything up. Davis Owens to Melton. Surveys and works into the X. Wood with a tight angle shot, and he'll stay with the Jumbos.
Just to keep track of our count, I believe number 4 is in with Jack Old, the freshman. And I believe while we were watching Tufts, Bates also made a goalie substitution. It is no longer Andrew Toland, it's now Drew Nias, number 38, in net for Bates.
Yeah, Nias, the junior from Lake Oswego, Oregon, hops in net. But if you're the Bobcats, all right, it's a tough loss, but I think you have to feel encouraged thinking about the way this matchup has gone in previous years, where you've really not been in the game at any point. And at least today, this was a 1-goal game with a minute left in the first half.
Yeah, I would agree, but I do think they have had closer games in the past. I think oftentimes the first quarter is an area where these teams were pretty even consistently through the past few years. This year, Tufts definitely struggled. We haven't seen them go down on Bello very often this year.
I believe that was the first time all year they've gone down on Bello.
And it was, I mean, from a fan's perspective, it was cool to watch them come back out of that and the adjustments that they made throughout the game to come to this 18-5 lead, 5 minutes left.
And Bates does have an opportunity to do something that's been done only once this year, and that is hold the Jumbos scoreless for an entire, or excuse me, twice this year. Hold the Jumbos scoreless for an entire quarter, as they have not yet scored here in this fourth. Tweedy. Here's George. Spins back. Fakes the skip pass. Dumps it off to Peter Kramer. Tweedy catches low. Perimeter possession is the pedigree for the Jumbos.
And that ball is moving, Riley.
I often see it with this second unit. They just love to move the ball. Step down there, and a point-blank save from the backup goalie. Bobcats will clear successfully as we dip under 5 to play. Bates making some substitutions of their own. Werner back on. Dane Jones getting a first look of the day. As will the senior Luke Breen. An assist as Breen fell on the turf. That shot a little too high. Oh, Jack Holt out of his cage. He thought he had won that race.
Coaches thought so too.
I'm always of the impression that if it's 50-50, you have to give it to the goalie. It's just so much harder for the goalie.
Doesn't mean they're closer though.
It doesn't, but if you have to think about it and a goalie's involved, you should give it to the goalie. If you can't point and say the attacker got there first, you give it to the goalie.
I guess.
Hard drive there. Inside feed hit off the top of the cage. It's going to be a foot race. Scooped by the Bows, and they're going to go. Solomon. Kramer. Pushed it wide. It'll stay with Tufts.
Their goalie jumping as well for that ball.
No, we have not seen either team give an inch in terms of effort despite the goal line. As, well, I don't think I've ever seen a shot bounce that high. What's the call?
I'm not quite sure.
D'Onofrio being told that they were offside as the Jumbos count in real time to the referee. Nonetheless, the Bobcats will clear. Jackson Red continuing to put in the effort, sprinting to the end line to get his deep hole back defensively.
He has been hustling from the first goal of this game until now with 3 minutes left. He has never stopped moving.
And I think that's indicative of what it took in the offseason. He knew there was one spot available on that second midfield unit, and he knew he wanted it, put in the work, and it has paid off as a nice save there from Old.
Yeah, freshman getting his fair share of playing time this year, proving what he can do.
That one ahead to the LSM, Mac Lanhart. He dumps it off. Friedlander, oh, a third pole goal, and I would have been over the moon. Still being fought for on the near sideline. It'll be Bates' ball. And Catherine, I think we hit our quota. I see a new face in net.
Already?
Well, there's only 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, I guess we do. The junior, Chris, help me with this last name.
I believe it's Alex Dirks in net, if I can see correctly. I believe that's 92.
My fault there. You're right, Alex Dirks.
The jerseys need to be a little clearer.
I mean, brown on white is probably as clear as it gets. I think my eyesight is just slowly deteriorating. But yes, this is the first year. Alex Dirks also proving what he can do in net.
And he wins the race on the backup. Jumbo's loving it here as they cruise to a 12th win to open this season. A 17th consecutive win for the reigning national champs. Kramer going to slow things down as we tick towards a minute to play. While the Jumbo substitute will remind you, JumboCast ain't going anywhere. We got a lot for you this weekend. It'll be a doubleheader on Friday over at Saul Gittleman as they take on Bowdoin. We'll be back here in the rain Saturday for Senior Day against Middlebury before finishing off the weekend as Peter Kramer nearly finished that one off. Back on Gittleman Sunday afternoon for the third and final game of that series against the Bowdoin Polar Bears.
Yeah, the baseball games will be exciting. The lacrosse games will also be exciting. Be sure to watch what you can.
Well, I will be out of town this weekend, so I will be watching all of the streams on everything while I'm stuck in a car ride.
Sounds like a pretty exciting car ride, Riley.
It will be. I got high hopes for these games this weekend. Final possession of this one here as the Bobcats, we'll see if they look to go or if they just run out the clock. Hartman still wants another goal, but Jackson Red not going to give him an inch. 10 seconds to play. Skip down low. Reverse shot wide of the cage, and that will keep the clock from hitting triple zeros, but it's not going to matter. The Jumbos finish this one on a 13-1 run and cruise to a 17th consecutive victory, setting themselves up to 11-0, 7-0 in SCAC play, and putting themselves one win away from clinching another SCAC quarterfinal here on Bello.
Yeah, exciting game here. It was fun to see Bates come out. They look ready to face any NESCAC team, really. And I'm curious to watch them throughout this NESCAC end of the season.
Yeah, that is definitely a factor to pay attention to Jumbos move to a incredible now 11-0. We're going to step aside momentarily, be back with you with a post-game interview in a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back here post-game with Connor Garzone. Connor, congratulations on the win. I don't know if you know this, your 50th career win here tonight.
I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. No, that's awesome. I mean, it's really just a testament to our coaches and this whole program. Continued success year after year.
Let's talk about that because you guys had the ability with the margin to run 5 goalies through, and everyone just seemingly stepped up, did their part. What is it you guys have as a program that just allows everyone to step up, do their role in their moment?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the goalie room, like we have 5 amazing goalies. You take me out of the game, any of those guys could step up and play. And I think that's really special. I don't think a lot of teams have that. But the depth of our team, I think the thing that makes us great is doesn't matter who's on the field, we can compete with anyone.
You guys got senior day on Saturday against Middlebury. What's the mentality going into that, knowing you can clinch another NESCAC quarterfinal here on Bello with a win?
Yeah, I mean, it's just taking it one step at a time, doing the things that we do best. You can't get too high, too low. Just got to go in with that same mentality we've been coming into every game with.
Well, you guys got a team that's waiting on you, so Connor, go celebrate the win.
Thank you very much, man. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. And for all of you at home, thank you so much for watching. For John up top, Noah behind the scenes, and my wonderful color commentator, Catherine Burns, I've been Riley Daniel saying so long from Bello, and stay home safely.